This home and its inhabitants are protected by God and a gun. And if you try to hurt my loved ones, you might just get to meet both of them. I don't call 911. I call 911, or I guess 1911 is really how you're supposed to read that. Those are a couple of examples of some catchphrases that you might find on a little novelty sign that you could pick up probably at a gun show or maybe a gun shop or something of the sort. And they're really just talking about, I guess in a comedic sort of way, why people own firearms and why some people carry firearms. It's to protect the life and limb of yourself and your loved ones. And the gun that you're looking at here, this is an FNX 45. This is the firearm that sits on my nightstand every night. I don't have one of those goofy signs, but I mean, in essence, that's why it's there. It's to help me to protect my family, to protect my loved ones. And I'll just tell you a little bit about the firearm. The little light there, this is an Olight. It's a Valkyrie. It's one of the earlier models. It has a little quick release latch there on the front. They've updated it since. It's quite bright. I think it's 450 lumens. It will light up a room, that's for sure. I have, before I play with it much more, I'm going to go ahead and safety check it. The firearm is loaded. It's my home defense weapon, so I keep it loaded with the 15 plus 1 rounds of 45 ACP. Those are 230 grain Remington Gold Sabers. I also have these True Glow tritium fiber optic day-night sights installed on the firearm. And it is a double action, single action firearm. When we safety check a firearm, we're supposed to check for an empty magazine well and an empty chamber. I'll just go ahead and show you how to disassemble it. It's very similar to a SIG 226, but basically you lock your slide to the rear using the slide lock, and you rotate your disassembly lever and release your slide, and it comes right off. From there you can take out your recoil spring, guide rod, and barrel. And I'll go ahead and put it back together. I'm quite fond of this firearm. I've shot it a good bit. Works well. I shoot it well. Those are all very important in choosing a self-defense weapon. As I mentioned, this firearm is single action, double action, or double action, single action. You can see that the hammer is cocked to the rear, so you can press the trigger and fire it in single action. It will also fire in double action, and you can leave the gun in double action mode, or I guess you could apply the safety and have it double action with the safety on, or you could carry it if you're going to carry it. It's kind of big to carry, but you could cock the gun and apply the manual thumb safety, so you could carry it cocked and locked, so to speak. But pretty big firearm, but shoots very well, and I like it a lot, and I think the high capacity 45 suits the bill for a home defense firearm fairly well. And of course, if you push the safety lever down, it doubles as a decocker, so you can safely decock the firearm on a live round. So with those catchphrases and in thinking about home defense and my home defense firearm, it reminds me of a verse in the Bible in the book of Psalms. In the book of Psalms, chapter number 56, and starting at verse 3, it says, "When I'm afraid, I will put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I have put my trust. I shall not be afraid. What can mere man do to me?" I think sometimes we get too wrapped up in our defense weapon choice. I put a lot of thought into that one, believe it or not, and the carry gun that I use as well. But I think really maybe sometimes we rely too much on our capabilities and on our tools to get the job done. Really, if God doesn't allow us the opportunity to deploy a firearm in a self-defense situation, it's not going to end in favor for us. So maybe instead of relying on our own understanding, as it says in Proverbs, or on relying on our tools, maybe we would do better to, yes, be prudent, be trained, be proficient with a firearm, know your firearm, pick a good firearm, but also maybe we should be more concerned with relying on and trusting in God, because He is the ultimate authority.